Now, I was mentioning just a moment ago, somebody who was so moved by the events surrounding 9/11 that every single 11th of the month since then, he's been religiously pointing out exactly what happened. And it's been so long that he's been doing this that I clean forgot to ask Kawika Crowley, who, like I said, candidate for Congress, where he was on 9/11. And I forgot all about that. Good morning, Kawika. How are you?
Good morning, Mike. It's good to be on your show again.
Thank you. Kawika, where were you on 9/11, 2001?
I was in Kaneohe, running a small basketball shooting practice business of mine and in a warehouse.
You know what? I remember that like it was yesterday. You had this great idea of having an indoor tutorial where people could shoot baskets, and it was terrific.
Yes, and it my friend came up from a couple of warehouse down, said, Kawika, hey, you gotta come check this out on TV. You're not gonna believe it. And and I remember standing there watching this on television as it unfolded, and I said, my God, this cannot be true. It's a dream, and unfortunately, it wasn't.
Yeah, and I know that something moved you that day, and ever since that, on the 11th of every month, you've been the guy on the side of the road honking, and the people have been honking at. What are you doing today?
Today, it's going to be a 9-hour marathon, I started it 3 years ago because on the anniversary, I would always put a big flag on my van and drive around Windward Side and stuff, and just and what really bothered me on the 9th anniversary, on the 8th anniversary, I had my flag out and I was driving around Windward Side and I noticed no more flags. Where's the flags? Where's the flags? And I got so upset. I went to City Mill. I bought some lumber and painted my own small paint signs. And I picked this place in Kaneohe by HPU. And that's when it all started. People thought I was kind of nuts at first. But, now I get about 8,000 to 10,000 honks in every occasion. And I just appreciate so much everybody's support.
I don't know where we would be without people that doggedly reminded of this. I mean, they're already saying, the people, a number of Americans who have been surveyed, that they've moved along from this. Right. From this morning, I've received about 200 email already since we've been on the air.
Wow.
Thanking us for the different excerpts of sound bites that we were playing without pictures. I played this thing very early this morning when I first got on. And what it was the live coverage from 30 or 40 different angles on that day. After the first plane hit the tower, there were these static shots, and almost everybody had the same reaction when the second plane hit tower number 2.
Right.
That's when we realized that our lives would forever change.
Well, I got all choked up on that last segment you did. I did not realize, Mike, that 500,000 people were evacuated from the. I did not realize that, and
by boat.
That was by boat. And if I can share this real quickly, I think the biggest thing that warms my heart whenever I do this rally on the side of the highway is when once in a while, actually a lot now, a carload of kids come down the highway, sticking their faces and their arms and their bodies out the window, yelling, "America, Uncle, Uncle!" That's Mike. That is the part that warms my heart the most, because you know why? Some of those kids weren't even born on 9/11, and maybe they were just toddlers. But somebody in that car took the time to explain to them what that man on the side of the road is doing. And that's what we have to make sure. That's what I'm trying to do. Is it because once one generation forgets what happened on 9/11, we're doomed as a nation.
Yeah. Let's move forward to what happens after the remembrance of 9/11 with you. I mean, obviously you're on the campaign trail. It's a true David and Goliath, or the giant against the little guy. I saw the other day you had a press conference in Hilo, and you garnered yourself a surprising endorsement from somebody who knows all about fighting and being a little guy. That's B.J. Penn. Well, that must have been a nice surprise, Kawika.
It was, I came off the plane. I was headed to the state building, and my daughter calls from Vegas, and she said, "Oh, Daddy, just to let you know, B.J. Penn gonna be there at the press conference." And I'm speechless right now. I just about dropped my phone.
I bet you that if you got elected and would nominate B.J. Penn to be the sergeant at arms, there would be very little problems on the floor. Yeah.
I would have all security issues covered, my friend.
What are we going to do about this? Obviously, there's time. Our 9/11 was the previous generation's Pearl Harbor. We're certainly not out of the woods. What is it? As somebody that is so entrenched in remembering this day, what does it do to you when we are not keeping the full military strength that we need, when we're making decisions that may not agree with all of us about where we belong and where we don't belong?
It's a good question. It bothers me very much that the present administration is cutting so much of the military. It's the old adage, peace through strength, and that's why America is so important in this world. Is that we have avoided another world war because of our strength, and we cannot minimize that strength. It's just not. It just doesn't make sense for us to begin to cut military, because I tell you, I've said this before. 9/11 will happen again. It's not if, it is when. And I've always stated to my friends, I almost can guarantee you that Hawaii will be the next target, because we're such an open target in the middle of the Pacific. And we, as Hawaii citizens, we must be vigilant. We must be watchful. It's a matter of vigilance on the part of all Americans, and we cannot afford to downsize our military.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, here we mark the 11th anniversary of 9/11, and we also mark the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Iniki. And you talk about, being in the middle of the Pacific at odds with Mother Nature. That's what we're going to be doing shortly. Kawika, we just had somebody ask off the air, where are you going to be? Because they want to come by and honk at you. Where are you going to be this morning? Where are you?
I would appreciate that so much. I'm on Kamehameha Highway, Windward side, Kaneohe side, in between HPU Windward entrance and the H3 off-ramp. There's a small little grassy area, where people sell flowers and smoked meat. And so I'll be there today all day. In fact, we're going to be setting up very shortly. And if you want to stop by, say hello. I had this police, you won't believe this, Mike, about 2 or 3 months ago, a police officer from New York stopped by with his wife, saw my signs. He survived the attack.
Yeah.
He survived it, and he came up to me, and we were both, I get kind of choked up.
Yeah.
But he gave me his hat, a brand new New York Police Department hat, and I've been wearing that ever since in honor of him.
Wow, what a nice way to end this morning. Kawika, thanks for doing what you're doing, and good luck as you continue your real tough battle against a pretty strong candidate in Tulsi Gabbard. So we'll see what happens, and we'll talk to you again before the election.
Much mahalo, Mike.
Hello, there you go. Kawika Crowley, candidate for Congress, standing on the side of the road. He is the 9/11 man in the band.